Hi YouTube, it's me, Kelly here. It has been such a long time. I know this video has taken forever for me to upload. Sorry, I'm just checking the, the volume on the computer to make sure that, that you guys can hear me. So, I'm hoping to make this, video really quick. It has been crazy. And that is why I have not made a recent video, and so much time has passed. If you can't tell in my face, which is very chunky, I am almost 29 weeks. I am 28 weeks and 3 days today. And my last video, I believe I was going into my 6th week of pregnancy. Sorry, I'm going to be adjusting the camera a lot, so I'm using a webcam, and to talk a little bit about that, that is pretty much why I haven't made any videos recently. I think I mentioned in another video that I couldn't find my camera charger, and so that's why I was using my webcam. And technology has not been my best friend for these past few months, to be quite honest. I had a laptop, the laptop I was using to make the videos that I had posted, and my daughter cracked the screen, and then I had gotten a laptop, but then my dad gave me a laptop for a gift, because I'm in school and he wanted to do something nice for me. So he got me a laptop, and unfortunately something happened to it. I think it like burnt out or something, I don't know. And so I had returned the other one that I got since my dad got me a laptop, and then it burnt out, so it stopped working, and it was gonna be like $200 something to fix. So I was just like, might as well buy another laptop. So I did, and that laptop that we bought, it was on clearance, but I thought it was brand new. Clearance for $300, and we bought it, and it was what's it called? Sorry, it wasn't new. Somebody must have bought it previously and then returned it, because it was just really slow. And but I mean, I had made a video on that laptop, but I what's it called? Sorry, I'm like so short of breath. I made a video, but then I returned the computer because we had 15 days to return it, and since it wasn't working very good, and I tried uploading the video like 2 times, but it didn't work. So now we have this computer, and so far so good. Yeah, so I just wanted to give a little bit of an update as to how things have been going. So my last video, I was going into my 6th week of pregnancy, and I was kind of skeptical as to whether I wanted to make another video. I really like YouTube. I love watching families on YouTube. But then again, I'm a very private person, and I know of people who've had really good YouTube experiences and not so good YouTube experiences, but I mean, I think it's something that'll be really cool for me. I have a lot of stories to share, and I really hope to just inspire some women out there. I am someone of faith, and I just find it amazing how God has done such marvelous things in my life, and it's kind of hard for me not to share it with everybody. So just to share that hope and encouragement with others. So okay, so into my 6th week of pregnancy, I started actually having some bleeding, and I went to the emergency room, and I was told that I had a subchorionic hemorrhage, and there was pretty much a 50% chance of the baby making it or not, because the doctor had explained how, you know, sometimes with subchorionic hemorrhages, they'll dissolve, or sometimes they'll grow, and then they kind of get in the way of preventing the placenta from attaching and the baby receiving the right nutrients, etc., etc. So that was pretty frightening for me. I had bleeding with my pregnancy of my daughter, but yeah, it was really weird. I bled from like 4 to 9 weeks with her off and on, and it was really scary because it was also accompanied with like really intense, scary dreams about miscarrying, just really, really intense. Like, so, but I just prayed and prayed and prayed, and thankfully that is what brought me through both pregnancies now, and now I am almost 29 weeks. So, but yeah, that happened during my 6th week of pregnancy, and they did an ultrasound, and the baby was fine that day, but you know, it was kind of like a waiting game to see what would happen with the hemorrhage and stuff like that. So around 8 weeks, I had bleeding again, and it was heavier, so I went back in, and they kind of just told me the same thing. They checked the baby, they checked my HCG levels, and everything was fine. So you know, they just, had me follow up with a nurse practitioner, and, she just told me to keep the faith and just trust that everything would be okay. So I tried not to stress as much, and it was also hard for me because at the time I was in school, it was a summer semester. I decided to take some classes during the summer, and so just the stress of being newly pregnant and then having these, things happening and having all these deadlines and all these assignments to do, it was just a lot. And so after that, though, that last episode during my 8th week, the bleeding completely stopped. And, my pregnancy was doing good. I had stopped exercising at 6 weeks, which wasn't really far in, but I'm not sure if I mentioned this in another video, but prior to getting pregnant, I was really, really into exercise and eating well, and I actually lost like over 30 pounds. I got down to 131, which with my daughter, I was, I think, 145 or 150, somewhere around there. When I started my pregnancy, and I got up to 192, and then I got down to about like 170, 165. So yeah, and I kind of sat there. I did breastfeed, but that didn't really help with the weight loss in my case. So yeah, prior to this pregnancy, I had lost a lot of weight. I was eating very healthy, and I was hoping to do better with eating healthy and not gaining as much weight with this pregnancy, which kind of fell out of the window. I mean, I try to exercise here and there where I can, but with the worry in the beginning and then what happened next, which I will share with you guys now. Actually, when I was going on 11 weeks pregnant, this was in July, I started having some symptoms. It was on a Sunday. I think it was the 6th of July or 7th of July. I'm not sure. But it started on a Sunday, and I started having these really weird symptoms. I remember we had just gotten out of church, and like I felt like my what's it called? My mouth went numb, and I was like, did I eat something that I'm allergic to, or what is going on? I was trying to think about all the stuff that I had ate, and it only lasted for a couple of minutes, so I was just like, okay, that's weird. And so that I think that was the only episode that day. And then the next day I started having more episodes where like the left side of my face, I have a really bad rash on my hand. I always get that in the wintertime, so it kind of looks a little gross. Sorry. So yeah, like, but on the left side of my face started going numb, and it would only last a couple minutes and then go away. And it was really weird for me. So I had called my mom. This was on a Monday, and I was just like, okay, so what does it mean when your body parts are like going numb? And my mom's like, oh my gosh, you need to go to the hospital. That's like a serious thing. You could be having a stroke. And I'm like, okay, mom, because here I am in my 20s. I don't think I'm gonna be having a stroke. So yeah, but then that night, my hand started going numb, and I was up writing a paper, and my hand was going numb, and it was just really weird. So then the next morning, on a Tuesday, I went to the grocery store. I went to breakfast with my kids, then I went to the grocery store, and I remember just being in the grocery aisle, and like my left arm, from like the elbow to the tip of my fingers, went numb, and had this tingly sensation, and I lost feeling in my arm. Of course, it went numb, but then it got kind of weak, and then I just had this like weird sensation that just like went over my entire body, and I literally felt like I was gonna pass out. It was just so weird. Something like I've never really experienced before. So I called my mom and I was like, okay, I'm going to the hospital. So she said she'd meet me. I actually went to the clinic, not emergency room. Initially, I went to, what's it called? Urgent care. And so I told the doctor about my symptoms, and she was like, okay, well, you need to be evaluated ASAP. I do think you're having signs of a stroke, and or a mini stroke, I don't know. And so, but they did not have the proper equipment to confirm that, because I needed to have an MRI done, and they didn't have that in the urgent care that I went to. So she faxed off the order for an MRI to the emergency room we had intended on going to, and we went there, and I don't know what it was, but I mean, usually, I mean, I think of its protocol across the board with any emergency room that if you have somebody who's having chest pain, which I was, shortness of breath, and of course showing stroke symptoms, and there's an order for this person that they need an immediate MRI, that that person would kind of be top priority. But we went to the hospital and we were sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and I was just like, my mom had to wheel me in a wheelchair, just so crazy. And my mom kept trying to like see if something gonna help my daughter, can she really needs to get checked. We had driven all the way from Burnsville, yeah, and it was just, it was ridiculous. So at one point after waiting, I was like, Mom, let's just go, because I mean, I didn't want to sit around there and things to get worse, and I didn't know what to expect. So I was like, you know what, let's just go. Please take me to a different hospital, which is back in Burnsville. So we drove all the way back to Burnsville, and as soon as I got there, they took me back. I didn't even like wait 3 minutes in the lobby, and they started doing all these tests and went back for the MRI. And then after a while, the doctor had came in and confirmed that I did have a couple minor strokes, which are also called TIAs, and that I needed to be transferred to a different hospital because they had like a section in that hospital specifically for stroke patients. So I they gave me aspirin while I was at this hospital as well, after they informed me that I did have a couple strokes. And so then I was transferred by ambulance, and I ended up being admitted to the hospital, and I stayed for about 4 days. And while in the hospital, excuse me, while in the hospital, I, what's it called? I had a lot of tests done, a lot of tests, and I was visited by a lot of doctors. I was having my blood drawn like around the clock. I mean, literally, it was just like, I think I literally became numb because I was having needles poked in me left and right, and I had a lot of tests done. I am a cardiac patient. I was born with congenital heart disease, so I have always had, a history. I have a long history with MRIs and echocardiograms and EKGs and things like that. So I they did a couple tests. I can't remember if they did an EKG, but I know that all the doctors were talking, the cardiologists, neurologists, and everything, just, and the OBs, of course, just trying to see what steps to take and what could have caused a stroke and things like that. So a couple factors kind of played in that they thought. My protein S level was very low, and that's something that can happen during pregnancy. When you're pregnant, you have a higher risk for stroke. And I had a regular echocardiogram that was done, and then I also had a I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like a TEA or something. It's just pretty much an echocardiogram, but instead of them using, just doing the ultrasound on your chest to check your heart, they put the camera down your throat. Horrible experience. I mean, they were wonderful. They did a great job, but it was just so painful after they took out the breathing tube, or the tube, or whatever it is. I think it was the breathing tube, and it had the camera inside. I'm not sure how it went, but I know that they used general anesthesia to knock me out, and it was just like, and I woke up and they took out the tube, and I was just vomiting all over the place. It was horrible. But they're very, very pleasant people, wonderful, wonderful hospital staff. But yeah, so they had found that I have, well, it's still kind of up in the air, excuse me. I've had 2 additional echoes since then, and I have 2 more scheduled this month alone. I don't know if they're gonna do any more after that. But what was I gonna say? They had found that I have either an ASD or a PFO. It's still kind of uncertain, but pretty much there's a hole in my heart. And I didn't know that. I knew that I had a problem with my pulmonary valve, and I was born with pulmonary stenosis, which kind of developed into pulmonary regurgitation over the years after a couple procedures that I had when I was young. So then I ended up having my pulmonary valve placed in 2011, open heart surgery. So yeah, I knew about all that, but I didn't know that I had a hole in my heart. I didn't know I had ASD or PFO or so. They put me on Lovenox, which is a blood thinner, and at first I was having it through the IV, and yeah, so they put me on Lovenox, and I'm trying to think here. Yeah, and yeah, I just talked with a lot of different specialists, and pretty much I've been following up with these specialists. I'm seeing high risk OBs, neurology, hematology, cardiology, and just been following up with them these past few months. And so far, thankfully, things are going good. I am having a little girl. Yes, I'm excited. I had my heart set on a little boy this time, but I'm very thankful that we are having another little girl. My daughter will have someone close in age to play with. And of course, we have a bunch of clothes from my daughter. So there's like, aside from, we really haven't had to buy much. I mean, we're gonna use her crib because she has a toddler bed now, and I still have my rocking chair, lots of clothes, lots of things. Pretty much the only things we really had to get were the car seat, stroller. I'm thinking about getting another breast pump, but that's something I'll probably after baby comes, because I mean, with my daughter, sorry, I'm getting off topic, but with my daughter, I had like got a breast pump and I got all these bottles and blah blah blah, and my daughter I don't even think she really ever used a bottle, maybe a couple times when she was first born, but I pretty much exclusively breastfed the whole time. So that was a bunch of money wasted. And even when I would try and pump and leave her with somebody, like if I had to go to a doctor or just go in church, no, she would not drink out of a bottle. No way, Jose. So it was just like, there wasn't really a need for a breast pump or bottles or anything, but we'll see. This baby could be different. So, yeah, after being hospitalized, my pregnancy's pretty much progressed pretty well. Sorry, that was a weird sound. It kind of sounded like a truck or something. I don't know, awkward. I'm trying to hurry up because I have to go pick up my son from school. Oh, I think it's an airplane or something. Okay. Anyhow. Oh no, it's a UPS guy. That's what it is. Sorry guys. Okay. Short attention span. Yeah, so pregnancy's been going pretty good. Initially I was seeing my OBs every 2 weeks. Now I'm seeing them every week now, since 28 weeks. And they're doing ultrasounds every 3 to 4 weeks, which is a lot of testing. They do a lot of testing, and I really wanted to have this pregnancy go a bit differently in many aspects, which I'll probably touch on in another video because I only have about 10-15 minutes before I have to go get my son. And then I don't want this video to be too long anyway, so but yeah, I mean, I'm just thankful to God. I admire his power and how he brought me through all of this. It's just such a crazy thing to be as young as I am and have gone through so much, but it's just amazing to see how God just has worked in my life, and I'm just so thankful to be here, and I'm just so thankful for the life of my baby. That was my like only worry when they told me I had a stroke. I'm like, okay, how's this gonna affect my baby? Okay, how's blood thinners gonna affect my baby? Like, all I care about is my baby. Is my baby okay? Is my baby okay? So I'm just so thankful that she's doing good and she's growing a lot. Actually, my last ultrasound, she was like in the 88th percentile for weight already. She's a little chunker, like weighing like almost a pound a head, even though ultrasounds can be off. So, but yeah. So I'm really excited to continue make videos. My weeks change over on Mondays, so I might make another video on Monday. I'm not sure. I'm getting to the end of the semester, and so that means a lot of work, and we're moving in 2 days. So I'm hoping to be more consistent with the videos, especially because I've lost like 20, almost 23 weeks of my pregnancy. I would love to just finish off this vlog. If anything, just to have something to, you know, look back on and be like, oh wow, that's how big I was, or to watch with my family and things like that, and, you know, to just share my experience with other people and, you know, encourage women. I mean, it's hard, especially being a woman with congenital heart disease, and, you know, the risks that come and are involved with pregnancy, and just having to go through high-risk doctors and just constant tests and ultrasounds and things is just a lot to cope with. So if I can just like encourage somebody, or just anything in general, you know, to share my experience, that's what I really look forward to. And yeah, so I think that's everything. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and show my belly, and I'm kind of like embarrassed because my bed is like yeah, anyways, I think I am huge. I've gained like at least 30 pounds, and I wanted to stay under 35 pounds, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But I mean, I've also been kind of living a sedentary lifestyle. I mean, I exercise when I can, but it's like there's like almost no time for exercising when I'm picking and dropping off my son, and cooking and cleaning and doing homework, and studying for the youth group, because I teach the youth group at my church, and just so many different things. It's just like but I mean, it is my last pregnancy, so I want to enjoy every single bit of it. And so yeah, I will show you my belly. Move some of this junk out of the way. So yeah, let's see, it's grown since my last video, of course. Let's see if you can see my belly in my messy bedroom. Okay, so this is my belly at 7 months, 28 weeks and 3 days. I feel huge, and I'm having a lot of back pain. I keep getting a lot of Braxton Hicks contractions, so I am going to get a, well, sorry, that doesn't make sense. I keep having a lot of Braxton Hicks contractions when I'm up and about walking and stuff. Oh, you get to see my lovely stretch marks. My belly button is so pointy. And standing and stuff. So I'm going to get a maternity support belt today or tomorrow. I have to get to the clinic anyways to get my heparin levels checked, my 10A levels checked, because of the blood thinner. So yeah, that's my belly, and yeah, it's big. And these marks are just from the, I had to have a Holter monitor, which is pretty much a heart monitor. I had a 30-day heart monitor, and my skin is very sensitive, so they just are slowly fading, where the electrodes were. Electrodes, yeah. I think it's what they're called. Anyways, I should know as many times as I've had heart monitors placed. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I am looking forward to making many more videos. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a labor and delivery video. I would have to work on getting a camera, a pretty good one, so the video come out well. And then, I don't know what my husband's going to be. He'll probably be more into the delivery than anything, depending on how we deliver, of course. But I don't know if he'll be, you know, into filming all that, but we shall see. Alrighty, YouTube, take care.